Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in today's video, I'm going to rank the movies from director Christopher Nolan that are on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, in this video, I thought I would rank the Christopher Nolan movies that appear on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. I did a previous video going over the Steven Spielberg films on the format, so for this one, let's dive right into Christopher Nolan movies. Now, if you're a fan of the filmmaker, you know that he has a very, I would say, set in his ways style of filmmaking, and that includes what actually appears and how it appears on a physical media format. In the case of 4K Ultra HD, he does support HDR gratings, but he does not go after the audio formats such as DTS-X or Dolby Atmos. He prefers a nice strong DTS 5.1 mix, and I think for the most part he does deliver a great sound experience. Also, because he does shoot a lot of his movies on film, they look beautiful, and I think when you get the native 4K resolution with the HDR and the strong DTS 5.1, you really have great audio and video presentations. And just like I do with all my lists, just a couple of quick notes. One, this is not about the film itself. This is based purely off the picture and audio quality, which I will say in this case is a very tight race. I think there's great presentations all around. So this one is really about splitting hairs kind of a difference from all the films. Also, this list is very subjective. Yours will be very different, but I do encourage you to put in the comment section below how you would rank the Christopher Nolan movies on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. Okay, let's not waste any time, let's dive right in. At number 8, that will go to Batman Begins. Of the 3 Batman films that Nolan has done, this one I feel is probably the weakest of all the entries. Don't get me wrong, it's still a nice 4K disc, but it's not as breathtaking as the other 2, at least visually. Audio-wise, it's good. It has some typical Nolan staples in the audio department, and if you want a good sense of what the audio track can do, look at the climax scene with Batman fighting Ra's al Ghul on the subway train. I think that's a great audio experience, and whenever, there's some good training or fight sequences, they really resonate well on the 4K disc. And visually, it looks okay. Once again, it's not as stunning as, say, the other 2 entries, but there are some great scenes. Once again, when Batman is training with Ra's al Ghul in the ice area, it's got a nice sense of scope there, but it looks good. HDR is a little bit on the subtle side, but black levels, I feel, are pretty spot on. Overall, it's a nice presentation. It's just not top tier when it comes to Nolan 4K discs. At number 7, I will give that one to The Prestige. When it comes to the director's filmography, this is personally one of my favorite movies of his, and the 4K disc definitely doesn't disappoint. It also implements an LPCM audio mix, which is a little bit different than what the director typically uses, but both visually and audio-wise, this is a great disc. Look at Tesla's Machine, especially. I would say both video and audio-wise really shine in these particular moments. The lightning with the HDR pops right off the screen. It's visually breathtaking, and the audio also just crackles and buckles in your seat. It's a good immersive experience, mostly reserved for those scenes, but still a great 4K disc, and even if it's a little hard to find at times, you should definitely add it to your library. At number 6, that will go to The Dark Knight Rises. Even though the film itself is divisive among a lot of Nolan fans, you can't deny that the 4K disc is a stunner. Visually speaking, this is a great looking presentation. HDR grading does a great job with those desert landscapes and Gotham itself. And of course, you have the added benefit of the IMAX scenes, which really add a whole new level to the visual medium. And of course, audio-wise, this is a great track. It gives you a lot of oomph in those fight scenes, and of course, ambience sound great. Even though Bane is a little hard to understand at times, the overall 4K disc on The Dark Knight Rises is a must-own in your collection. At number 5 is the director's most recent film, and that is Tenet. The 4K disc is very nice to have in your collection. The visuals on this one are pretty nice, especially when it comes to the IMAX scenes. It gives you a great sense of the cinematography at play. And audio-wise, yes, we've had issues with the dialogue, and that's something that everybody's experienced. But when the action scenes kick in, that's where the real fun begins. It's dynamic, it has a good fullness to it, it rocks your seats very well. And the film itself is definitely something that you benefit more from on repeat viewings. But if you have the 4K disc in your collection, you will definitely enjoy it a lot more. At number 4, that will go to The Dark Knight. Of the 3 Batman films that Christopher Nolan has directed, I think visually this is the best of the trilogy. There's a lot of great shots in this one, both IMAX and non-IMAX. Not a single shot is wasted here. I think it's a beautiful looking movie, and really honestly, it's just something that you should definitely see for yourself on 4K. In audio, this is a great disc also. This has a lot going for it, and it has, so many good fight scenes that are rendered very well. This sounds great overall. This one is just a fantastic experience from both visual and audio standpoints. You should definitely have it, and you probably already do, but for that reason, it's my number 4. At number 3, that will go to Interstellar. This movie, I believe, is one of the more underrated films in the director's library, but if you have the 4K disc, you're definitely in for a treat. This visual pleasing movie is beautiful to look at on 4K with that HDR, and those IMAX scenes offer something very, very special. This is a great looking disc, from the Earth scenes to the space moments. Those have a lot of great contrast between them, but equally speaking, on a cinematic level, they look beautiful. And when it comes to the audio, this thing is a very aggressive, it's room filling, very dynamic, and just so much to enjoy. From the Dust Bowl scenes at the beginning of the film that are filling your surround sound speakers to everything that happens in space. Not a single audio cue is wasted, and it really sounds fantastic on 4K. For number 2, that will go to Dunkirk. This movie, I feel, is one of the more cinematic offerings from the director, and it gives you a great historical war drama and just amps things up to another level. Now, for the 4K disc, this one is beautiful to have in your collection. There's a lot of great IMAX scenes, but just, with the narrative switching between the 3 stories, it offers so much visually. It's really hard to take it all in one sitting, but you are definitely in for something special here. And the audio, I feel, is just, it's so good. It's so very good. There's a lot of great tension in the overall narrative, and it comes across with the music. And whenever there's like a dogfight or some kind of action moment, this thing is well represented in the audio department. Dunkirk is a beautiful movie, and it's very intense. And if you have the 4K disc, you're getting the best presentation on a home format. And for the number 1 ranked 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray disc from director Christopher Nolan, that will go to Inception. This movie has it all, both visually and audio-wise, and the 4K disc does a great job. This has a beautiful looking picture. The IMAX scenes are rendered very well, and the HDR looks great. I don't feel that any shot here is just a throwaway. This one looks just stunning, and everything from the world to just the smaller intimate moments are well represented visually. And when it comes to the audio, this thing is a beast. The Hans Zimmer score is a character of in itself, and it sounds great here. That DTS 5.1 is extremely aggressive, lively. The surround sound is very dynamic, and nothing is just, I think, tops this one. In the Nolan library, this is absolutely the best looking and audio experience you can have, and you should definitely own this one in your library. So that is my ranking of the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray discs from director Christopher Nolan. If you're interested in picking up any of these titles, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But now it's your turn. How would you rank the Christopher Nolan movies on 4K Blu-ray? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.